It will print more and more drachmas to finance that deficit, and there would be inflation. People expect 40–50% inflation. These are really large numbers.
Nicholas, I'm going to ask you to kick off our conversation about the Greek elections.
Yes.
Are you going home to vote?
I expect so.
Why? What's so important?
Well, this is a crucial election for Greece. If it doesn't go right, then Greece could be kicked out of the European Union, could be kicked out of the euro, it could go to the drachma, and it could be really catastrophic. There could be really catastrophic consequences for Greece.
Okay, so why would that be so catastrophic? Many of your fellow Greeks think that that is a preferred outcome. We've seen a lot of scenarios where countries that are in a weak economic position, as Greece is, actually find that devaluing their currency is a solution, and even defaulting, right? I mean, remember the great Russian default and devaluation of 1998?
Remember, this is a kind of a strange transition, because here you are going to go from a very strong currency to a very weak currency, and the Greek drachma is going to be devalued heavily when it comes into existence. So it might come originally in an exchange rate of 1:1, but within a few weeks it will go to 2:1, 3:1. What does this mean? Practically speaking, all the imported goods are going to double and triple in price. So the average person on the street is going to see his purchasing power dwindle. He will have very little. He will get very little for his money. That's problem number one. Problem number two is that, expecting this to happen, the banks are going to fall apart. How? People are going to take out the money from the banks. They're going to keep them at home, put them abroad, put them anywhere, instead of getting them converted to 1:1 when they know later on it's going to be 2:1 or 3:1. So the banks are going to collapse even before the drachma gets introduced. Then further on, once the drachma is introduced, the government has a deficit between expenses and tax revenue. So it will print more and more drachmas to finance that deficit, and there would be inflation. People expect 40–50% inflation. These are really large numbers. More unemployment, less production, lower asset prices. This is a really catastrophic scenario, which could lead to social unrest, could even lead to humanitarian problems.
By the time we get to June 18th, which is only this weekend, there might not be a banking system left in Greece.